Hello and welcome, my dear friend. Your name didn't begin here. It was spoken long before any human called it, not in a hospital room, not on a birth certificate, but in the presence of power, when eternity cracked open and light whispered to light, "This one will change everything." That was you. You were not summoned into this world by chance. You were assigned. And the assignment was sealed in what some call myth, but those with eyes to see know as truth, the ancient scrolls. I'm not talking about dusty books or legends passed through mouths. I'm talking about a sacred record, the kind that only spirit can translate, the kind your soul has been decoding in dreams, synchronicities, sudden knowings that you can't explain. You didn't learn them, you remembered them, and now that memory is waking up, stronger, louder, more undeniable than ever. Because the scrolls that held your name have been opened, and this moment is the unfolding. Let me be clear, you are not here to be the same as anyone. You're not here to echo what's already been said, to mimic what others have done, or to chase a version of success that was never designed for you. You are here because something was broken, something ancient, and your soul volunteered to be the repair. Even if you don't feel ready, even if the road has been brutal, even if no one sees it in you yet, the divine saw it first. And that's why your life hasn't made sense by the world's rules. It was never supposed to. Because the moment your soul signed that contract to enter this timeline, the war started. Not the kind with bullets, the kind that comes for your confidence, your clarity, your voice. You've walked through attacks no one saw, lost battles no one even knew you were fighting, nights where you cried for something you couldn't name because it wasn't pain of this lifetime, it was memory from a mission you agreed to long before your first breath. And still you rise. You keep hearing a call, even when you try to ignore it. You keep surviving, even when you think you're done. You keep sensing that you're meant for something, that no one else around you seems to understand. That's not delusion. That's divine data. And it's activating now. Because this is not a season of guessing. It's a season of decoding. The signs around you, the dreams, the delays, the doors slamming shut, they aren't detours, they're alignments. You've been trying to get clarity from the world, but your clarity was sealed in spirit. And it's unfolding now, line by line, just like it was written somewhere in you, you know. You were never here just to survive. You were here to resurrect, not just yourself, but generations. That's why your bloodline feels heavy some days. It's not because you're broken. It's because you're carrying what others never could. But you weren't sent here to be crushed by it. You were sent here to complete it. You are the punctuation mark at the end of a long sentence of suffering. The final word in a chapter of silence. You are the turn in the story. And I know you've questioned it. You've said, "Why me?" more times than you can count. But the truth is, it had to be you. Because you don't fake what you feel. You don't run when it gets hard. You've walked through darkness with your eyes wide open and still chosen to keep your heart soft. That's royalty. And that's why the scrolls chose you. Not for perfection, but for willingness, for devotion, for endurance. The kind of endurance that can't be taught, only earned. The kind you gain from being underestimated your whole life and still rising with grace. Let me say something that might hit different. You were protected by being hidden. You were preserved through your loneliness. You were trusted with pain because the divine knew you would turn it into healing. And now you are being revealed, slowly, precisely. Like a sealed scroll finally unrolling. Because the world doesn't need more noise. It needs remembrance. It needs the kind of presence that shifts timelines, not through volume, but through alignment. And that's what you are. You are not just the message, you are the messenger. The kind the old ones prayed for. The kind that disrupts spiritual amnesia just by standing in your truth. And if you've been feeling tired lately, not just physically but spiritually, like something in you is laboring to break free, it's because it is. You are not evolving anymore, you are erupting. And the eruption was always part of the prophecy. You're not in the waiting room anymore, you're in the unveiling. And it's not about waiting for another sign, another confirmation, another reason to believe. The reason is you. You are the scroll unsealing itself. And right now, you're walking through a very sacred moment. The moment where everything in your life, every betrayal, every delay, every invisible battle, suddenly rearranges itself into a divine map. One you couldn't read before because you were still becoming the one meant to hold it. See, you weren't being delayed, you were being decoded. And now, even the silence has started to make sense. The people who left, the doors that stayed shut, the seasons where it felt like heaven forgot your name. They were preparations for this frequency. You were never meant to rise fast. You were meant to rise right. And now, the air feels different. Even your reflection in the mirror looks unfamiliar. Because the version of you that stayed small to survive doesn't fit anymore. The version that needed to explain yourself, beg to be understood, prove you were worthy, that version didn't make it through the fire. But you did. And this you, the one that's walking forward now, was never supposed to play polite while your soul screamed for more. This is the version that remembers. The one that doesn't chase, doesn't shrink, doesn't fold. The one that's no longer asking, "Who am I?" but instead declaring, "I know why I'm here." And that knowing, that's power. Not the kind that demands attention, the kind that holds space and shifts atmospheres with presence alone. You don't need a crown. Your survival is your royalty. Your scars are your lineage. Your wisdom is your inheritance. And your alignment is your throne. Because let's be honest, most people would have folded under what you carried. They would have broken under the weight you called normal. But you found a way to turn collapse into clarity. And that's why you're dangerous to the darkness now. You'll be called to speak what others won't say, to walk where others won't go, to love in a way that looks foolish to those who've given up on their hearts. But that's what happens when your mission is sacred. You stop living for applause and start moving like a storm wrapped in stillness. Let me give you a final truth, and it's not soft. You weren't made to play the healer in someone else's comfort cycle. You weren't created to be a trophy for those who only love your light when it doesn't outshine theirs. Nor were you meant to prove your goodness in broken rooms. You are the answer, the shift. You are the scroll they were hoping wouldn't be real, because your awakening challenges their illusions. And now that it's open, there's no going back. So breathe in your own frequency, move with your own rhythm, and trust the rise, even when it shakes everything around you. Because this rise, it's not fragile, it's divine, it's been building for lifetimes, and now it's undeniable. You are the rebirth of a soul that's been rehearsing this role across dimensions. And today is the opening night. No more hiding. No more pretending to be less than what the scrolls declared. Your name has been called, and the next chapter begins, with you stepping fully into the power that has always been yours. Not borrowed, not mimicked, not requested, but written. Thank you so much for taking this journey with me. If this message resonated, please like, share it with someone who might benefit, and subscribe to stay connected. Continue your awakening journey by choosing one of the videos on your screen that resonates with you the most. See you there.